Hello and welcome to my Module 2 portfolio response to new literacies and the changing face of literacy. Above I stated that 21st century learning is the integration of academic subjects, such as our STEM subjects like science, technology, engineering, and math, with fundamental competencies and skills, also referred to as the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and finally, creativity, which are essential in second language classes. Literacy used to be defined as the ability to read and write, but now that definition has been expanded further and further to not only reading and writing, but digital skills and the understanding of how to functionally work multiple technologies, such as computers and mobiles. This is drastically altered from having a physical book in hand to the ability to navigate and read the internet. I personally plan on using multiple literacies in my classroom. These are various forms of media and technology that provide your students with the ability to communicate and expand their knowledge. Literacy is more than words on paper. They can be adjoined with sounds, pictures, and video, just like I'm doing right now. This alters from traditional literacies because they can be accessed anywhere at any time through the use of technology. Teachers should incorporate multiple literacies within the classroom to support the diverse learning styles and needs of their students in order to provide numerous opportunities for learning. Multiple literacies create a student-centered learning environment that helps give educators alternate objects to obtain students' personal knowledge. This relates to Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences and how every student learns through different mediums. In fact, in my classroom layout you see here, I try to incorporate as many of the 8 intelligences as possible. I know my teaching philosophy is still emerging. However, my goal is to foster a safe and collaborative learning environment that is inclusive and actively engaging. So why don't I explain my setup? This is my ideal classroom. From my experience being both a student and working and volunteering in schools, I always love the table setup. Here I have 5 tables with 6 chairs. Although I can't predict how many students I'll have in my classroom, fingers crossed a lot are interested in French and English language, I find splitting tables into groups of 2 or 3, or just having them all collaborate together is great. I chose tables for this main purpose, to encourage collaboration. This is so important in a language classroom because it gives you opportunity to practice speaking with your peers in a non-stressful environment, or as Krashen would call it, lowering the affective filter. This table setup also offers quick manipulation to move them out of the way to open up the floor for interactive activities like communicative language teaching, or CRT, or task-based language teaching, which is TBLT. The options are endless. Upon entering or exiting my classroom, as you see here, I put a mini shelf where students can drop their assignments into a basket on the way in or out. This acts as an exit ticket. It can be used for formative or summative assignments. Next to it, of course, I have the garbage and the recycle, because let's be honest, save our planet. And now we're getting to the good stuff. I bet you're wondering why I put couches in my classroom when I'm in secondary education. If you don't question it, good. If you do, it's because, like I said, I want to create a safe space for my students. I want it to feel comfortable and inviting. I want to provide a place for them to decompress or hang out with one another. However, for the educational purpose, I put it in the corner opposite to my desk, as you see, so students can go read there quietly in the TL language, of course. Sorry, target language. I'm hoping this will advance and support their intrinsic motivation for furthering their reading skills in French and/or English. Therefore, I place this bookshelf beside the couches and plan to have an abundance of reading materials for my students, from newspapers to books to dictionaries to anything that sparks their interest, I hope. I know that we're discussing 21st century learning, but depending on school policies that revolve around personal technology, this is a safe bet to offering the students numerous forms of literacy without having to pull out their cell phones. I labeled a window because, let's be honest, natural light affects our mood. and it's important to have when cooped up in school all day. Then I have 3 desks with computers. I'm unsure as to whether or not my future school will have a computer lab or Chromebooks that my students can access, so I decided to include them in my design. I face them towards the wall, so from anywhere in the room, I can see what my students are browsing on the web. Because let's face it, students are curious, but it's our job to keep them safe. An important question to ask ourselves as teachers is, what skills will our students need to succeed? Definitely typing skills and navigation skills. Maybe some of our students don't have access to technology at home, and we're the ones to teach them? That is one of the common questions you get when addressing 21st century learning. Will it cause a technological divide among students? Maybe. But if so, shouldn't we teach those that don't know how to, rather than avoid technology as a whole and have them suffer from the lack of exposure later in life? Now, working my way around the room back to my desk. But first, wait, let's stop here. I want to have a student information wall. I would love to display my students' work, pictures, writing, or fun facts about them on this wall. I feel like students of any age love it, and it gives them the sense that the class is theirs, not mine. I situated my desk here to give students privacy. So on the opposite side, as said earlier, I want to create a student-centered classroom where I am just the guide to support them from the side. And what better way than to literally put my desk on the side? I will have a computer to control transmitting information to the smartboard, as you see here, which I gave space in the front of it so I can invite students to come up and interact with it as well. I plan on using it for multiple literacies like music, video, audio clips in French or English, and pictures. These digital literacies will help me as an educator deliver options to reach my students and access their personal funds of knowledge. And behind my desk, of course, like the students, I have an information board for about me, so my students can more easily connect with me and know who I am. There you have it, my classroom. To paraphrase Gallego and Hollingsworth, literacy is no longer limited to being taught in the classroom. It is part of our daily world. Becoming entirely literate nowadays could mean living as a functional and successful citizen, which is what I want for my students. Participating and interacting with the latest technology, or reading words written on a page. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.